back. I'm so excited that I actually was able to do video number 2 this week in the series that I was looking forward to doing. It's a beautiful deep smoky eye with a little bit of green, a little bit of gold, and of course false eyelashes. I'm terrible at them, but I did them anyway just because some people do like to do them every day. Just if you want to learn how to achieve this look, just keep watching and I hope you enjoy. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the little bell. That way you can get notifications when my video uploads, hopefully. And I hope you enjoy. I don't think it's supposed to burn like that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is our foundation. What I do to achieve a really nice, pretty, flawless airbrush look. I have really large pores and I have some kind of acne scars in there that I kind of want to cover up and not show. So the first step in my foundation routine is my primer. I want that extra airbrush poreless look. I use 2 primers. The first primer I use is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Primer. Controls shine, helps to mattify your skin, and it also helps to make your makeup last longer. And then the second one I use is the Clinique Pore Refining Solutions Instant Perfector. This one is a little bit thicker and pastier. Yeah. And it's kind of a paste, but it gives your pores just this fresh matte airbrush look, and it helps them to be a little bit more invisible underneath your foundation. What we're using today is one of my drugstore favorites. It's one of the more expensive ones of the drugstore, but I really, really like it. I haven't used it in a while, and I used it the other day, and I remembered why I love it so much. We're using the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. This one is really good because it comes in a dropper. And you can either drop it on the brush that's specifically made for this foundation from NYX, or you can actually just drop it on your skin and blend it in. But you also can put a little bit of your moisturizer in your hand and drop a couple drops in your moisturizer, and it gives you like a BB cream. So that's why I really like this. And I'm going to skip the foundation brush this time. I'm going to be using a wet makeup sponge. You just get it damp and squeeze all the water out, and we're going to use this to blend. I'm just going to drop a little bit on there, and then I'm just going to tap it in to blend. And this is really good because it is buildable. It can give you anywhere between light to full coverage. Just depends on how many drops you use. And I have a mirror beside me, that's why you see me cut my eyes. And it doesn't really set like some foundations do, so you've got time to blend, so there's no hurry. Okay. I have a little bit more coverage on my cheeks because I do have some acne scars. Or 2 on my sponge, and I'm going to spot blend and just kind of cover that up. And I'll do it again. And this foundation retails around about $15. That's a little bit more than I normally would like to pay for quote-unquote drugstore foundation, but it's worth it. It works really well. And there's also a primer that they make that's specifically made for this foundation, but I've never used it, so I don't really know what it does, but I've always been curious. I was going to do my under eye circles because they're always dark and I always need to cover them up. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. I lost my cap. The sponge dried up and got real stiff and sticky, so I had to actually tear the sponge off. So I'm actually just kind of twisting it out and having to put it on my hand now to use it. And I go in here a little bit this way. Kind of the same way I would do if I had the sponge, and just kind of tap it in. Alright, got myself covered with that. Gonna take the pointed end of that damp beauty blender or beauty sponge and blend that out. I look like I just slept for 8 hours. God, what I wouldn't give for 8 hours of sleep straight. So next I'm gonna set my under eye concealer. I'm gonna use my favorite powder. It's the Coty Airspun Face Powder, Neutrally Neutral. And I'm just gonna put just a little bit on, just to kind of set my under eye. And you have to be careful with this powder too if your skin is a little bit more mature, because it will show, because it is a little bit drier than other setting powders, it will it will show your fine lines and wrinkles. So you need to make sure if you use it in moderation, and use it with make sure your under eye area is moisturized really, really well with a good eye cream. So now I'm going to put on my eyebrows and I'll be right back. Okay, so that got that done. That was a job, and I'm still learning with my eyebrows. I'm still not 100%. And the concealer that we use to kind of shape our eyebrows a little bit, we're also going to take that down and use it as our lid primer. LA Colors Concealer Cover and Correct Concealer. It was like $1 or something. I bought it in a hurry because I needed some. I was completely out of mine. Really, really well as far as a eyeshadow primer. I don't know how it does as an actual concealer because I haven't used it like that yet, but it does pretty good as a primer. So the look we're going to do today is going to be like a kind of a smoky eye with a little bit of pretty green, because I really like green this time of year for the holidays. Use the Wet n Wild. It's a 10 color eyeshadow palette. I love these. They're about $5 or $6. This one is called Not a Basic Peach. We're only going to use one shade out of this one. This super, super light shade right here. It's matte, but it's just going to be kind of like our transition shade, and just going to kind of set our lid. And transition shade is basically just a matte neutral shade that you put on first to help all of your other colors blend a lot better and blend in with each other a little bit smoother and not be so like patchy and skippy and all that other fancy terminology. We'll try not to block you guys from the mirror, but alright, so that's done. We're going to be using a fairly dark eyeshadow palette. So what you can do to help, like I've set my under eye, but you can set it a little bit more. Just take a dry beauty blender that has a sharp edge on it, and I'm using, this is the Real Techniques one. Get it coated really well with powder, and you're just gonna just press it on the corner of your eye, like that. And then that way, if you have any of the eyeshadow to fall down on your cheek, called fallout, that'll help catch it, so you can just wipe it away. Which is why I do my face powder and everything last, because I like to do my eyeshadow to catch all that fallout, and then I can just go and brush it back off when I finish my face. It's been really hard for me to find grays and silvers and blacks that actually don't turn bluish on me for some reason. 4 color eyeshadow palettes. This one is in the shade Lights Out. This one is about $3. And I really like this one because it has gray shade right here. It's got more of a warmer undertone to it, so it actually does not turn like silver bluish color on me. Blending crease brush. This is the Sonia Kashuk one, and you're going to dip into that color right there. And you want to tap it because you're going to have some extra stuff on it. And just kind of start blending in your crease very lightly with a very light touch. And if you have a hooded eye, you're going to want to go up just above your crease. That way it'll open up your eye a little bit more. And this is going to be this is just the base of your smoky eye. The key to blending your eyeshadow, if eyeshadow looks flawless, is blending and building. You want to start from a very little bit and then go up. You don't want to have a whole lot all at once. Always add to it, you can't take away. And then you want to just kind of flick out the outer corner of your eyeshadow, just to kind of give you like a little bit of a cat eye without drawing it like a cat eye. Okay, back in with that same color and dip the same brush in it, and you're actually going to do a dip, and you're going to go back in and you're going to go concentrate on the outer corner of your eye, and just do little circles on the outer corner.
Look, I got one click on my face.
Continue to flip that outer corner so everything blends in. A smaller, tiny brush. This is like an accent shadow brush, but you can see how itty bitty it is. That same color, and you're gonna dip it on both sides because this one's kind of flat. And you're gonna bring it down your lower lash line. And make sure it blends out. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing because I'm blocking y'all with the mirror big time. Not usually a lot, but here lately it has been. I don't know if I'm developing new allergies, but this eye waters so bad. So everything I have to put in my corner ends up being like a mess right here because my eye keeps watering. This is a little patchy because my eyes have been watering, so I'm just going to kind of touch that up a little bit. Brush, you're going to tap into that same color again, and you're just going to kind of sweep a little bit halfway over your lid. Ever so lightly. What, darling? It's in my bathroom, babe.
Can I go get it?
Not right now. I'll go get it for you in just a second. Go into with this really dark crease color. This is really good if you want to use it for like an eyeliner, but we're going to go in as a crease. We're going to take the same brush, dip it in like that. You're going to go back into that outer corner again, and you're just going to dot it and start blending in circles inward. And of course you can adjust this however you need to with the shape of your eye. Just tap it in and then blend it inward. This side looks better than this side. I don't understand. What?
You look funny.
I know I look funny. I'm not done blending. Just our crease on, and we're going to just go back and blend. It's not much on it, if any. I'm just going to kind of blend everything together. And you're just blending everything. This has little to no product on it left over, and you're just basically just kind of making sure everything is seamlessly blended together. Tiny brush again. And I'm going to dot my eyes because my eyes are watering so bad. Take this little brush again, go back into that crease, dark crease color, and ever so lightly go on your bottom lash line. This is going to create that smoky look on the bottom, whereas if you were to use an eyeliner, it would give you more of a harsh line. Fix that just a touch. A dense eyeshadow brush. You can see it's very, very thick and flat and rounded. It's almost like a concealer brush, but we're going to take it. It's from my Wet n Wild set. We're going to color right here. You can see super, super glittery. And we're going to take that on your brush, and you're just going to just press it on your lid. That ain't doing nothing. It's disappointing. Okay, we're gonna scratch that a little bit bolder. That's pretty. Okay, so this is the Wet n Wild Zodiac palette in the shade Earth Element. All shimmery shades. None of these are matte, so these are really good for shimmers. If you want to do a whole eye look, I'd be leery, but all right. Then you're gonna go in with this really pretty green shade.
I love you, Mama.
Tap this into your lid. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. And only do this on your lid. And the reason why I'm using this brush is because I can get it very, very tight, close up to my crease, but not above it. You're just gonna follow your natural lid line. Oh, that's pretty. Okay.
Look.
Hold on, Megan.
Huh?
Hold on, baby. Oh, that's pretty. whoa, smoky. We're going to go back in with this super, super dark crease shade, and this is liner brush. This is from Morphe. It's the M432. I really like it because it's straight across and not angled. So we're just going to dip it, and we're just going to press it in our lower lash line. Right at the base of our lashes. Turn this up a little bit. So we're gonna take, this is the Juvia's Place Saharan 2 palette, and we're going in Aziza. This is a real pretty like white gold shade, just like a small eyeshadow brush. And we're going to go and just kind of accent our eyebrow bone. God, I need to do my eyebrows. Caterpillars. Take my finger and just take a little bit of that same color and just kind of tap it in right here on top. Oh, that's so pretty. And now just kind of brighten that up just a little bit and still keep the smokiness to it. Pretty green gold color. Like kind of a tap and pull motion, so it's blending it without messing up what you've already done. That's pretty. Now I'm gonna finish my face. We're just going to take the Estee Lauder Set Blur Finish Perfecting Pressed Powder, and this is just in translucent. Fluffy powder brush, and we're just going to go all over our face and just kind of set everything and wipe off anything that we have fallen down. Ow! Ah. My hair's in my face. Just kind of wipe away all your eyeshadow fallout. Give you a really pretty translucent finish. I don't know why I can't get it. Look at that. I cannot get it together with my eyebrows today. I have good eyebrow days. I have bad eyebrow days. I need to get themselves together.
With the eyebrows?
Well, my eyebrows do. Take the NYX Matte Bronzer in Medium. Multitasking powder brush from Eco Tools. It's just a little fluffy powder brush, but it's smaller, so I can do more concentrated areas. And we're just gonna contour very lightly with it.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. We're gonna take a little bit through here. And I like matte bronzers. I like to add my own shimmer. I don't want my shimmer to be all over with my bronzer. I like to add my own on the nose. It looks like I'm putting a lot on, but this brush doesn't pick up a lot, which is things I like about it. So I'm basically just building until I get the contour I want. You're going to take the same Real Technique sponge that we did our under eye with, and you're going to coat it again with some powder on the flat end. And you're just going to kind of run it down the natural shape of your cheeks. Just kind of cut in a little bit. You let that set. And in the meantime, that we did from the Juvia's palette right here, that one. And we're going to do a little in the inner corner right here. And a little bit right here. There, that's pretty. Blush, which is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. And this is a e.l.f. powder blush brush. I think it was like $2, but it's been really good. And just kind of brush it on the apples of my cheeks. And it's okay if it wipes some of that away.
Mommy, what is the apple of her cheek?
I told you, honey, it's when you smile. brush and just kind of, you can brush that away now. Okay. Usually don't highlight very often because it shows a lot of my texture. But I do like this one because it's such a finely milled powder. It's not going to be like super glittery and crusty and chunky and all that good stuff. Lumi Powder Illuminator. This one is in the shade Warm Undertone. Same fluffy powder brush. And just kind of go over it. I skip this brown because I don't need it because it looks kind of gray and ashy on me. So, and then just kind of do a very light highlight. My hair would stay on my face. Just right here. It don't have to be major.
You mix all of your. You mix all of your lip glosses when you go to work.
No.
Well, not all of them.
And just bring a little bit down your nose just to kind of highlight your nose a little bit.
Me? What's your...
We're going to do our lashes. Now this is the fun part. I'm actually going to show you how to put on false eyelashes, which I'm not real good at it, so you may want to skip this part. They look as far as like a dramatic look to make kind of like just to kind of give your eyes that extra, you know, wow factor that they may need, that you may want them to have for the holidays. And you don't have to buy really expensive lashes. If you're just using them for just like a one-night special occasion, this is all you really need. The main thing you need to make sure you remember is to get you really good lash glue. I like the kind that comes already in a brush. It's easier for me to work with. And you have to remember to get the right eyelashes for your eye shape, and you also have to remember that they are not one size fits all, so you are going to have to cut them down to size. A couple weeks ago on how to actually, it's very, very in-depth on how to pick out your lashes based on your eye shape, the kind that you want to get. Link that in the description box below if you want to watch that too. She's really, really cool. I like her a lot. Her name is Sabrina. These are called Enchant, and they're a little bit dramatic, but they're not too over the top. And they are from LA Colors, and they were $1. So for one night, that's not too bad. Pay attention let me show you. You have to pay attention to your band. As you can see, this one has a clear band, so you're not going to have to blend them with eyeliner quite as much as you would if they were actually all attached to a straight black band. I like this kind better because it's easier to make them look natural than it is for you to have to try to blend that black band in, if you can see it or not. But the band that they're on comes out just a little bit further than the actual lashes, but that's not that big a deal. You can always trim that off. Size it up with my eye to make sure where I want it to lay. And sometimes you will take a good amount of eyelashes off, just depending on what you want it to look like. I'm gonna take off about that much because my eyes are very, very small. Next thing you're gonna do is, I don't recommend regular tweezers because they're a pain. Just put just a thin coat of the eyelash glue, and I like to use the clear. It comes in, you can get it in clear, you can get it in black. I like to use the clear. I should have worn my glasses for this. Once you get that on, you're going to want to let it sit for about 30 seconds because the glue has to get sticky and tacky. In the meantime, while we're waiting on that to dry, you can go ahead and put on a coat of mascara, and that will help your natural lashes to blend in with the false ones. So I'm not going to do anything special, just going to put my lengthening mascara on. To measure it up where you want it to go and stick the middle on first.
Can I do your makeup after?
And just push the sides in where they need to go. Right, but I've still got some glue that's not dry. Just give it a second. If you want to, you can go ahead and while your second eyelash is drawn, you can go ahead and do your bottom lash lines too. Okay, we survived that without any casualties, so it actually looks really pretty and fancy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set it. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, and it don't take much. And set it and forget it. Okay, so we're going to do a neutral lip, but it's going to be a neutral shiny lip. Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit. This is the High Shine Liquid Lipstick. This stuff stays on really good. I have like 25,000 of these. I love these. And it stays shiny.
Whoa, golden.
You can do a bold lip if you want. I think it would be really pretty and dramatic. But I just like, if my eyes are super, super bold, I like my lips to be neutral.
Why am I gonna go downstairs naked?
My hair's getting caught in my eyelashes now. Don't you wish I had that problem every day? Okay, so this is the finished look. It's a little bit more of an effort than the last video, but like I said, it's just a bunch of videos for different skill levels and just different makeup routines that people may have. The false eyelashes were a win today, which I'm very excited about because usually they're not, but I'm getting better. Practice makes perfect. But once you get really good at them, I think false eyelashes look really, really pretty. They just kind of just, you know, send your look just kind of over the top. If you enjoyed, this is number 2 in my makeup video series, and hopefully I get number 3 out next week, and then we'll have 4 videos hopefully by Christmas to give you some ideas on fun makeup looks for the holidays. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in next time. Bye!